Hi, this is Douglas C. Perry, Editor-in-Chief of IGN Xbox and Xbox 360, and today we're going to look at Dead or Alive 4. So Dead or Alive 4 is obviously the fourth game in the Tecmo series, a fighting series that was born in the arcades from the Virtua Fighter series, and which Tomonobu Itagaki has created into a sort of fan-based series, a fighting series that stands on its own legs and has really gotten people interested in it from both a graphic standpoint and from a gameplay standpoint. A direct sequel of Dead or Alive 3, Dead or Alive 4, once again is an exclusive for the Xbox 360, as the Dead or Alive 3 was for the Xbox, and it takes a lot of lessons learned from the Xbox version and tries to both counter and improve upon those. But let's look at the graphics first. Visually, Dead or Alive 4 is one of the best looking games on the system. It's one of those powerhouses that you can show off to your friends. You've got great backgrounds, whether you're in Kyoto and Bloom or Gambler's Paradise. You've got excellent animations from all the characters. The whole thing moves in 60 frames per second, and Tecmo's done a fantastic job with the motion capture. Everything's in high res, everything looks beautiful. There are fantastic reflections, moving fluid cloth and hair, moving water, tons of close-ups and soft and distance blurring. And in general, the only thing that I think is kind of negative about the game is that the characters look like enhanced versions of old characters. They don't look necessarily that much more realistic. DOA 4 takes a lot of what was good and bad about DOA 3 and tweaks and improves it. In some cases makes it harder, and in some cases it might actually make it, depending on your opinion, worse. So let's get right into it, right? The counter system is harder. There's a shorter window of attack, so you're not going to be doing a huge amount of counters unless you're really good at it. It's still very integral to the game, but you really have to be very, very good at counters now. You can't just throw them off randomly. There's more of a ground game. High and mid counters throw opponents on the ground, so you're unable to do get-up attacks all the time. You're going to have to work on that. That makes it a little bit more interesting, a little bit harder game. You've got environmental objects, cars, cheetahs, pterodactyls, all sorts of things that you can use to your advantage, which make the game a little more interesting. And then of course there's the second tier levels, where if I might knock you off of a building or a rock or cliff, you're going to go down and you're going to get hit. You're not going to lose all your health like in DOA 3, but you'll have one little sliver left. I think even the hits in general don't take off as many points as they did before, so you're going to have longer games. When you look at the game overall, DOA 4 has a phenomenal amount of modes. A lot of them are basic. There's story and there's an online mode, which is actually very good. But there's survival and time attack, tag team, and all sorts of little neat things like you can take pictures and snapshots of your characters. You can go into Battle Viewer and watch all the movies that you've watched before. You can go into options and tweak all sorts of things to your liking. There are 16 basic characters that are available right away in the story mode. And once you've unlocked all those characters, you'll unlock another whole 6 characters for a total of 22 characters in all. One of those is the Spartan from the Halo series, which is a sort of a throwing sort of wrestler brawler who, if you like that kind of character, is very fun to play. Finally, what really is going to make or break DOA 4, and I think in this case makes it, is the online options. It's weird to compare it graphically to the main part of the game because it's super deformed and it's really cutie and there's like ghosts and trees and all sorts of weird crap. But actually, it's kind of fun and it makes for a good time online. So there are an enormous amount of options. And one of the best things I like is that when you set up a customized game, you can actually set aside friend slots from up to 16. So when you get in there to play, you've designated these slots just for your friends to play and you can have your own personal games. The one thing that will happen online is that there will be some lag. What's interesting about what Tecmo did is that instead of making it really ghosty and jumpy, what you've got is everything slowed down to the same speed, so the whole game fights in slow motion. All on games have some kind of lag. This is one way of handling it, and it's not a bad way. In short, DOA 4 may not be the best game in the series. It corrects a lot of things from DOA 3 and makes a lot of things a lot harder. There's cheaper AI in the story mode. The counter system is much harder. There's more of a ground game, and there are fewer get-up attacks. But you've got a great online mode. You've got an enormous amount of costumes, a phenomenal amount of options, great game modes, and a beautiful game overall. We gave it a 9.0, and we think people are going to like it once they figure out and really flesh out the game as we move through the year of 2006.